My name is Rena Zhang, and this is my story. I was born on September 24th, 2001 in Columbus, Ohio, and I grew up in Dublin, which is a suburb of Columbus, and it's about half an hour away from here. Dublin is home to the headquarters of Wendy's, and we also host the Memorial Tournament and the Irish Festival. This is my family. My mom is a genetic researcher at the Wexner Medical Center, and she loves taking care of plants. My dad is a computer software engineer, and he enjoys reading and sleeping. And my brother, his name is Ruben, went to Ohio State as well, and he now works at Google in Mountain View, California. My parents immigrated from China in the early 90s, and they went to grad school in Ohio. Their journey has shaped me into an independent and self-reliant person, and because of them, I have faith in myself that I will also be able to pave my own way in the world. My brother Ruben is 7 years older than me, and we have very, very different personalities, but I've always looked up to him. He is the smartest person that I know. So I was an extremely hyper child. When I was learning how to walk, I would bump into walls all the time because I was just so excited. I remember that I would be outside every second of the day that I wasn't in school, and I loved just playing with my friends, running around in our backyards. To curb my hyperactivity, my mom enrolled me in gymnastics lessons at a local gym. And at this gym, there were many different programs. There was the traditional artistic gymnastics, there was cheerleading, tumbling, and tucked in the corner was where the rhythmic gymnastics team practiced. And for those who don't know what rhythmic gymnastics is, how I would describe it is that it's a combination of dance and gymnastics, except on top of that, you also have equipment that you use during your routine, like ribbons and hoops. And as a young child, I was extremely captivated by the rhythmic gymnasts. And so after taking a few years of just like weekly classes, I joined the competitive team. Over the next decade, my team became my family. Gymnastics was a constant in my life for the majority of my childhood, and this period is filled with so many amazing memories, but unfortunately, it didn't end very well. In middle school, I developed an eating disorder, partly due to being in such a body-focused sport, and during the same time, I actually tore my hamstring at practice. Competitive gymnastics was having a really large toll on my body and mind, and I eventually quit in 7th grade. Even though 7th grade is still a very young age, at the time, I couldn't even remember the period in my life before I started gymnastics. It had just always been a part of me growing up. And while like other people had spent their childhoods discovering themselves and the world around them, I had devoted so much of my time and energy towards this one activity. For the majority of my life, I'd been Rena the gymnast, and now I was just Rena. In an effort to explore who I truly was, I threw myself at anything and everything that even remotely sparked my interest. I somehow found this very niche category of videos on YouTube called Charm Collections. With a lot more free time on my hands, I delved headfirst into this new hobby, and I began making polymer clay charms of my own. I even started my own YouTube channel where I posted about my creations. This was the beginning of my love story with video production. Throughout this transitional period out of gymnastics, there was a lot of uncertainty in my life, so I latched on to the one thing that did feel certain to me, which was my excitement for telling stories through film. I taught myself how to use editing softwares, and I started taking advantage of any opportunity I could to make a video. Whether it was for school or just for fun, I became obsessed with the process of creation. Overall, I had a pretty good high school experience, but there was this one thought that kept nagging at me throughout these 4 years, and it was the question, what do you want to do in the future? As hard as I tried, I just couldn't find an answer. I remember dreading the thought of college because it seemed like the place where you had to figure out what you wanted to do. And at that point, I didn't even know if that was possible for me. I thought that I would just always feel so unsure. So when it came to applying to colleges, I literally put it off until the last minute. I wasn't excited or passionate about any school, which is probably why I got rejected from 6 out of 7 of the colleges I applied to. The one school that I did get into was Ohio State, which was actually my last choice. For my entire life, I'd wanted to go somewhere far away for college to at least experience something new. And now I was spending the next 4 years 30 minutes away from where I had spent the last 18 years of my life. Even though I was disappointed, I entered Ohio State with an open mind because I didn't want to just waste my college experience. I can now say that the universe had my back when it gave me my only acceptance to Ohio State. I don't even know how to talk about this without sounding like a tour guide, but Ohio State has really given me a lot. It's given me amazing friends, amazing memories, amazing opportunities. I've learned more in the last 1.5 years than I did in all of high school. And because of all the challenges I faced in my time here, like living through a global pandemic, I've grown into a better and truer version of myself. I still don't know exactly what my future holds or how I'm gonna get there, but because of all the experiences that I've had leading up to where I am now, I feel so much more calm about it. Number one, because I know my own value, and number two, I've learned that you're never going to know everything in life. What's important is that you learn how to proceed with uncertainty and adapt to what lies ahead. And that was my story. Goodbye.